So just a brief presentation on my university. We are really close to Greece, so I would like to show the map where is Calabria, and that in some we are closer to Greece than Milan, for example. So it's nice to see it, and we are also an old colony of the ancient Greece. So. My university is a medium university. It's considered a university in Italy with 30,000 students and around 900 professors and researchers. My university is really devoted to technological transfer and creation of spin-off companies, because we are in an underdeveloped region with a very high level of unemployment. So we push the creation of spin-off, and we created in the past three different spin-off that in different fields they work around technologies for underwater environment, and in particular for the preservation and dissemination of underwater cultural and natural heritage. During the presentation, I will show you several parts of some projects that we are currently running. And the interesting thing is that BlueMed benefits of many of these projects. Since BlueMed, our role in BlueMed is the demonstration of the technology and to explain how the technologies can be used in the valorization of underwater archaeology. Is interesting that BlueMed can take benefits from our previous and parallel running projects. So the first topic is about the 3D recording of underwater cultural heritage, that in our case is mainly oriented to the dissemination purposes, so for virtual reality and augmented reality. So the methodology that we use is in general based on several phases that start with the site preparation, that obviously requires some cleaning, that is made not by us obviously, but by archaeologists or conservators. And then the optoacoustic data acquisition, because we merge the optical and acoustic data, as we will see, to create the 3D model and to use this 3D model in virtual and augmented reality. So site preparation is in general means that we need to clean, as we have seen with the presentation of Ms. Calamar, and to take some measurements that are the base for to create a properly scaled model and to rectify the model in order to reduce the errors when the model is really big. Images acquisition is in general taken by scuba divers, because the sites where we work are in general sites that are accessible to the public. So if they are accessible to the public, they are accessible also to technical divers. But in when we have a bigger depth, we can use ROV or underwater autonomous vehicle as well. And in this case, for example, we have the collaboration with in the BlueMed of the University of Zagreb that is really advanced in this field. Images underwater need to be enhanced in order to mitigate the effects of the suspended particles in the water and to the light absorption. Then, a part of the optical survey, we in general use also an acoustic surveying in order to have a larger area to be surveyed. So not only the wreck or the area of interest for the cultural heritage, but also the larger area that describes the geological context of the area where we work. Acoustic survey can be made using small ships, small vessels, or as we have done in BlueMed with the University of Zagreb, using a small autonomous surface vehicle that do the job while you are just controlling that everything is okay. At the end of the day, when we come back to the lab, we have two different models. One is optical, that is really detailed and with the texture, so with the real color, and the other is the acoustic survey, that is a larger model but with a lower resolution and without the colors. So the work in the lab is related to merging the data in order to have this multi-resolution textured 3D model. And here you can see what it means, multi-resolution. Here you see the Punta Schifo wreck, and you have a very small triangles. The triangles is at the base of our model. Small triangles, so very high detail in the area where the marble cargo is, and the larger triangle so means coarse model for the sea bottom around, because this comes from the acoustic survey. So what we do with these models? We mainly use these models to create virtual reality experience that can be enjoyed in museums, in diving centers, or as we are doing in BlueMed in the Knowledge Awareness Center, or we can use that for improving the experience of the divers by providing them with an underwater tablet, as we are going to see. We are going to describe a new technology that we are demonstrating in BlueMed, but obviously there is the right place to mention that there are also other experiences, very interesting and very effective, where panel placed underwater or small plastic foils are provided to the divers in order to orient themselves while diving and in order to acquire the contents while they are visiting the sites. In order to understand where for the diver to understand where she is, it is used to place some poles with numbers or letters in order to find these numbers or letters on the map. In that case, you see both a number and a letter, because the letters is for divers, and then, the numbers is for divers, and the letter is for snorkelers, because it's top view, so they can be from the surface, because it is really shallow water. So this is an effective way to do the job for improving the accessibility, but we are trying to do something more technological and more advanced, to provide more contents, to provide precise localization of the divers. And for this we use these underwater tablets that can be based on one of the tablets that are available for being used underwater, because there are a variety of solutions for using a tablet underwater. But what do you need if you want to have to assist the diver during the navigation is to localize the diver itself. So you can localize. The GPS doesn't work underwater, so the only chance to localize the tablet is to provide it with an acoustic localization system. And this is what we are doing. So attaching to the tablet a box like this with a transducer like this, the tablet is able to communicate with other beacons, acoustic beacons, that provide to the tablet the position. The acoustic beacons can be configured to be placed on site, like in this configuration where you have 3, 4, 5 beacons spread in a large area, and this is called long baseline localization. Or you can have a system with shorter baseline, so with a beacon placed in close to them, and this beacon can be placed on a buoy or on an autonomous vehicle, as we have tested with the University of Zagreb in the context of BlueMed, or with a fixed base that can be placed on the sea bottom, and this is probably the more accurate system, because since the acoustic base is fixed in a no location and doesn't float, it gives the better accuracy in localization. What the app can, which kind of information the app can provide? Obviously, the map of the site. So you see the map, you see where you are, and you can read and see some multimedia contents that we can spread over the site. So while you are moving, following the route and following your guide, because obviously you need a guide underwater, you can reach some point of interest and read the contents. Then you can have some information about your diving session, take pictures, having the compass, and in future we are working also on sending message to other divers and to the surface. This is some picture of the previous test that we have done. Okay, and this is another idea that we are working on, that is related to the possibility to have augmented reality underwater in order to display to the user while they are diving all the remains of ancient settlements could appear in the past. So using the augmented reality approach, you can show them how the villa or the settlements in general appeared. This is what we have tested in Americulture together with Barbara David and other partners, and this is how the application looks. So you can have the standard, the map, the planimetry of the villa in order to understand where you are and how big is the villa and so on, or you can switch to the representation of that was elaborated by the archaeologists about how the villa appeared in the past, so to understand how luxurious was the villa, how the furniture were. Obviously, it is just an hypothetical reconstruction, but is really a benefit for the tourists and the divers that are not experienced in archaeology. So here are some pictures of the sites. I will show just a few seconds of this video. We have the music too, okay. And to see the tablet, how the tablets appeared. This was the test we have done in the previous year. So we had a big modem that now is closed, is smaller. And here you can see how the software appears. So you can see that where you are turning around the tablet, you can look at the 3D reconstruction of the villa, so to understand that what at my eyes is just a small wall, it was in the past part of a really impressive underwater villa. Okay, let's skip the rest. I will skip also this because the time is running. And in order to talk you also about virtual reality. The 3D model that I've shown to you can be a part of a larger model when you have virtual reality. So here you can see the small portion of the underwater site, the Punta Schiffer wreck, and all around you can see all the bathymetry of the site, and also the terrestrial part of the site. And it is what we have done in BlueMed, thanks to the aerial drone footage recorded by the University of Zagreb and the acoustic bathymetry done by the University of Zagreb. So the area is really bigger, the area that we use compared to the area that we reconstructed for the site. And over this model, we need to put all the environmental and issues, like the sea, obviously, the surface of the sea, the coastline, the sky, the buoys, the boats, everything that you can see in a real diving experience. And obviously the flora and the fauna, so the fishes, the reflections, the algae, the Posidonia, everything. And the point of interest, so the points where you can read and activate the multimedia contents that explain you what you are looking to. More in catching contents and narrating tools are, for example, the diving buddy. So you have, as in a real dive, your buddy that is with you, or better, you have to be with your buddy, because the buddy shows you the path. So following your buddy, you can see the point of interest in the proper sequence. Otherwise, you can be confused if you go by yourself. As I said, we can interact with the point of interest that include text description of the finds. And for example, in other projects, we tested this catching video storytelling with actors dressed with the Roman time, narrating you a story. And where it's possible, this means in the settlements, in the villas and so on, you can switch from the present to the past to see the hypothetical reconstruction. How you can enjoy this? You can enjoy this using a monitor, possibly with glasses. Unfortunately, we are looking that this technology is going to be abandoned by the producers, but it was really nice for us. But anyway, we have this, the head-mounted display that can be attached to a personal computer for having better performance, or just wireless with a smartphone inside, like the one that you can try at the reception. And obviously all these, sorry, this time is finishing for me. So you need to present all the contents in a catching way. So I would like to show you what you can see in the virtual demo that you have at the desk. It was at the Peristera site, so it's the work that we have done together there with the A48 in the context of the Blumed. And as you can see, you have the fishes, the algae, everything around. The visibility is going to be close to the real one. We are adjusting this in order to be more realistic, but as you can see, you can enjoy the dive and see. Okay, the projector, it looks quite much darker as in reality. Okay, and just to conclude, I want to show you just a small part of the other experiment that is about the underwater villa, because here we can see the final version with the body that follow you, the 360-degree videos with the real actors. And another interesting thing is the switching from the past to the present. This is the job done with the group of Barbara David with the Minister of Superior Institute of Conservation and Restoration. And as you can see, it's really interesting when you have settlements to switch from the present to the past in order to understand how the villa appeared. And with these nice effects, you can drain the water and go back to the past. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And we continue with Mr. Iossifidis, who is representing the Management Authority of the National Marine Park of Alonissos and Northern Sporades. And he's going to talk about the diving accessibility as a protection mechanism.